Should I make you some soup? That is going to be the topic of this episode of Chi Life. Okay, so in this vlog, I'm going to start with a little bit of a story which does directly connect in with the topic, and then that will get into how this connects to Qigong, of course. So, over the last, a couple of days, I guess, I have had a rather unpleasant stomach bug. Or I should probably say gastrointestinal bug, because it certainly affected more than one part of my gastrointestinal tract. I won't go into too many details, you can probably imagine. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a bit ironic, weird in a way, because I've visited India a couple of times. I've been through lots of parts of Southeast Asia. I've been to China many times, including well off the beaten track in China when I've been researching different things and working on different things. And I've never really had any kind of major issue with my stomach. And then, I had a bug here in Montenegro, of all places, not somewhere you would expect to have that. And it's not something that I would suggest is common here or anything. I think I probably just got unlucky. And I think it's more likely a virus than food poisoning, just because of some of the symptoms and so on. But again, just one of those things that can happen. Very rare for me. Again, traveling through all parts of the world, eating all sorts of food. Hasn't ever caused me an issue before. But I had one over this last couple of days. Hasn't lasted too long, but it was quite unpleasant. I spent a good portion of one night in the bathroom. And then the next day I was just wiped out, perhaps understandably, and so I didn't get much done that day. And while I was wiped out, not getting much done, Tihana, my assistant, who you've seen in some of the other vlogs, and again, we're not often in the same physical location because she lives here in Montenegro while I'm, recently mainly in New Zealand or elsewhere around the world, but here I am in Montenegro right now. And so Tihana was there, and she asked me, should I make you some soup? And I said, yeah, actually, some soup would be really good. Now, if you think about it, you could analyze that a little bit and go like, okay, well, soup, warm and with some carbohydrates in it, and that's going to help to stabilize the earth element, which has clearly been destabilized with all of the vomiting and things like that. And then also with the depletion, a lot of loss of fluids, the saltiness in the fluid, that's going to help with my water element, which has been drained. You could think about it in that way, but you could also think about it as like, when someone's feeling sick, when their stomach's upset, what's something gentle they can eat that's going to probably help them feel better? Soup. And so I guess the topic of this vlog is really that we don't always need to make things complicated. We don't need to overthink it. Sometimes we can just go for simple, tried and true answers, remedies for whatever we have going on. We can sometimes, when we start to understand things about our energy and about Chinese medicine and philosophy and things like that, want to really be digging in and looking for some sophisticated answer or some sophisticated way of solving some of our issues. And that can be really useful sometimes. Sometimes that's necessary even to dig through and figure out some particularly challenging sorts of situations. But we want to make sure that in doing that, as we understand more of these things, that we don't overlook the simplicity, the simple answers that might be there right in front of us. We don't always need a complicated or sophisticated solution, or not necessarily even a solution, even aid. Sometimes we can just go for simple things that we know that work. And I thought this was a good example of that, I didn't, when I had this gastrointestinal bug, I didn't do any specific Qigong practices or anything like that for it. I did rest a lot. I did make sure I had some fluids. Um, and then I did also have some soup, thanks to Tihana. So that was very nice. And I'm back. I'm back at it. And only again, it was really overnight. And then the next day I was pretty wiped out. And then after that, I'm back into things. I wouldn't say I'm completely 100%, but pretty close to it. Did my Qigong practice again this morning and have been working on admin things today and, just back to normal. And it was really down to just things that are very simple. So partly also why I made this vlog was as I was talking with Tihana, because of course Tihana is involved with lots of different things to do with Long White Cloud Qigong. A lot of you email her about different things, and she replies to different things relating to admin and things. But she also does things like make the thumbnails for the YouTube videos and things like that. And she said, I have an idea for a vlog, but I have no idea what you'd actually talk about. And her idea was, we could make the title, Should I Make You Some Soup? And I was like, I can come up with something for that. And I thought straight away, this idea about simplicity, which I think is really, really important. It's easy to get carried away with philosophy and, get a bit high-minded and detached from the basics. In life in general, as well as within our Qigong practice, get carried away with, lofty ideas and aspirations. But, often the most important thing is just come back to the basics. In this case, it was having some soup. In our Qigong practice, it can be, doing some breathing practice sometimes rather than getting into more sophisticated things. Really connecting to the sense of your body rather than getting carried away with other things as well. So anyway, thank you, Tihana, for both the soup and for the topic for this vlog. And for everyone else, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you on another one soon.